I think about this idea, again, this idea of transitions, and I feel that that's a common thread through your conversations as well, around, different life transitions, and whether that's loss, whether that's physical transitions. um Talk to me about this idea of, like, our identities change over time. And again, I feel like that's not talked about enough, because I think there's who we are, and sometimes when we change, the people around us, and the changes usually come because I cannot sustain myself the way that I was going. But when people are used to you showing up in a certain way, when that changes, talk to me about, why that's a passion for you, because I feel like that's a big piece.
Yeah, I feel like we all change so much over time, whether it's because of a job transition, whether it's moving a location, whether it's, having kids, being with a partner. We change in so many ways for so many different reasons. Even if we just go through some experience, whether it's a happy experience or a negative experience, it changes how we react to the world. And I think that's normal. And I think it's good, because we don't want to show up in the world the way that we showed up in the world when we were 5, right? We want to grow and continuously learn and continuously give back to the world. So I think it's a passion for me, because I'm always trying to grow and always trying to learn and always trying to improve and change, and also give myself grace and accept that, I'm not going to always know everything. And what I know now might be different than what I knew then. So not to judge my past mistakes, but to constantly try to improve what I'm doing in the world and how I'm experiencing the world. So I think the transitions are really, the identity piece is really important for me too. I think we're always trying to find out who we are, and trying to redefine ourselves. And it's so funny, because recently I actually learned something about myself that you might resonate with. I went somewhere and realized that I call myself shy and introverted, but I realized that I'm only that way in spaces where I subconsciously don't feel safe. Whereas once I feel safe, I let my personality show. And so I think this has a lot of relevance in the work that you do. You can let me know.
Yeah. I say inclusion is an inside job first and foremost, right? There's always this demand of, like, give me a list of practices to be an inclusive leader. And I'm like, if I give you that list, but you haven't done the internal work, then that list of practices won't actually be inclusive in and of, like, the results you achieve, right? So I feel like such resonance around, um again, that permission to even interrogate the story we're telling ourselves about ourselves. And I feel like your the way you're showing up in this world right now, for your listeners, for your community that you're building, and hopefully some of our viewers will make their way. We'll make sure we leave some resources at the end. But just really appreciating. And I wonder, we have take a minute maybe to tell us about this workshop on emotional regulation.
Yeah, thank you also for giving me this space. And I really appreciate all the work that you're doing. The workshop was a workshop that I did. I was very personal and shared just some of the strategies that I've been using to deal with emotions, because I find that sometimes our emotions take over our decisions and our actions. And we realize that we lived a life of a bunch of decisions that we never really made. We just experienced and then made a decision, and then maybe thought, what just happened there? So that's where that workshop was born, was just how can we understand our emotions? How can we regulate them a little bit better so that we can be more intentional with our lives?